Hello, this is Tazalon. I'm on Karelia assault map on defense in my VK2801, and this is the Lighthouse After Actions Report Volume 18. We're going to take a look at the 9.8 changes to the map and how it affects gameplay in assault. I've only played it once in standard mode, so I haven't seen how these changes on the northwest side of the map really come into play in that mode. So after I get a couple battles under my belt in standard mode, then I'll do one on that too. But there's three big changes of note here on this map that really impact play in a major way. The first is A1, B1, and B2 are now a slightly depressed open area back here that Artie is just going to love to go to in defense. No longer do they have to sit out here and hope a bush or a rock hides them from people peek viewing up the center and getting sniped from people back here, or worse, picking out one of the couple bushes to hide in and getting blind shot because people know kind of where you're going to be. Now they can hide back in the back here and there's just no way to see them by coming up the middle. So this is a good change for Artie. And I must say, this is one out of the 4 map changes they made. This is the one where it's fairly neutral and it doesn't overly help one tank class over another. What they did here, it changed the gameplay a little, but it actually increases some of your options. So they did a good job on this map. I've complained about the other two. This one they did a fairly good job on. The next big change, and it affects scouts big time, is the change they made right to the middle here. Now if you remember, this rock used to just cut off and go around here. Now it extends out into the middle another 10-15 meters. This rock used to cut across right here, and there was a break right here where you could come down and pull in between here and the other rock sitting out here. They've extended that, made it solid. So what this means is when you pull up in the middle to peek a boom or peek a view, and you have to back out, you have to go an extra 15 meters or so back out into the middle before you can turn and get out of line of fire. And that's huge, because by pushing you back in the middle, you become much more vulnerable to flanking shots out here to your left and up here to your right. So if you have enemy up on this hill or back in this area, as you come back down, you're still lit up because it's not that far away, and you're now exposed. There's no rock, or the outcropping of rocks here used to protect you. These rocks used to protect you, and now you're open to fire. So it really makes going up the middle like that more risky depending on where your enemy team is. And then the third change that's really significant is there is now, you can kind of see the faint road right here, and then coming in from this way, there is a ramp that goes up the donut. So no longer, if you're on the donut, do you have to worry about the enemy coming along the base and proxy spotting you, but now you also have to worry about them climbing up this ramp and just popping up on top. And it's very easy, if you're up here focusing on somebody out here sniping, not to even realize they're coming up there until you take a shot, and then it's like, oh man, they can come up the middle, and they just did. So you have to be aware of that when you're up on the donut. And if you're playing, as you'll see I do, I take advantage of this and climb up under the donut from the middle. So those are the 3 really big and significant changes, and they're all going to have an impact on assault battles. And let me reset the map here as I talk about our order of battle. And in this battle we have 4 TDs on the enemy team and 3 artillery. And we got 3 TDs and 4 scouts and 3 artillery, and we have 3 artillery and 3 scouts. They have a good mix of other tanks. We have a lot of mediums and only 1 TD. It's really not bad for us because we kind of play aggressive on defense, and we don't miss having the TDs that you might normally want on defense. I'm on charge to the south hill. My own personal experience is if you contest the enemy on both the south and north hill and force them to waste a lot of time fighting just to gain control of that area, they almost always will lose. If you let them gain the north and south hill and then snipe at you, then you usually get picked off one by one until you're so far behind your team collapses. I start to turn around so I can back out. Actually just pull forward, not back out if I have to. Because normally up here you're going to have to move. Here comes two lights. I have the ELC coming up and the Easy 8 behind me. I'm going to pull up and take out this M5. Here he comes, he's perfect. Goodbye. And there's a T-34 coming. I'm going to try to get the Roach before he disappears over the hill. Get a last second shot, and I'm 2 kills already. Switching to heat because HE just doesn't perform well against a T-34, but heat tears him up. So he's going to pull forward. I'm going to try to sneak in a shot here. I didn't hit it. Now they have an M4 and a Hellcat and a T-29 coming. We just have the Easy 8 and well, he's almost dead, and the Roach, so I'm going to take off. I'm going to go back down, set up a delayed rush. They have a T-43 coming, and we have the medium back there to provide sniper support with his rapid fire gun, so they're okay up there without me being up there with them. Normally I'd sit back here and snipe a little bit, but because of where their positions are, and because of the KV-1 on the middle ramp there, he's not taking any fire, which tells me that if there's anybody on the donut, they have poor visibility, so I'm going to run right away and see if I can sneak by. And when I get down to this point, it's like, wow, I'm going to come over and try out this ramp up the donut instead of going back behind where I'm worried that the and now I see two already back there, but I was worried the Hellcat would light me up back there, so I tried to cut back this way, and I exposed two already, but one of them exposed me, so I'm just going to, man, there's a 12T. Facing the wrong way, I get a good hit on him. Now he's going to come through the water. I'm going to reload by the time he gets his gun over on me. Too late. Goodbye. I should be able to get a shot in the Hellcat. Maybe? Yep. Halfway decent hit. If he holds there, not. Oh, excuse me. Tried to shoot him before he went behind the rock and missed. I should have stayed here. I should have stayed here and waited on him to come back out, but I didn't. So I'm going to show you this ramp here. And up we go. Can't really go that way. There's this little ledge right there, but here we go toward the middle. And you can see how it also comes up from the other side there. Meets in the middle and goes on up to the donut. Right? Nicely placed behind this rock. So you have a little bit of cover from one angle as you come up. There's the 35 CA. Somehow I missed that. I'm not going to let him shoot at me again. I can one-shot him if I get it. Don't want to risk dying. He's under fire and he's gone. The one grill is already dead. The other grill's over to my right. The Hellcat's over to my right. T-29's out of play right now over there. So I'm going to go left and see if I can find the GW Panther. And there's the Panther in it. Apparently AFK Crusader. I'll take out the Panther first. Crusader's not a threat. Bam! I love taking those things out. They disappear nicely. Now I get to shoot this guy. Maybe. If I hit him, I get to shoot him. Shot mostly air, the other shot. And this is sad coming up. I'm going to turn back here and try to find the grill and Hellcat. I'm talking to my wife. I started scratching my nose right here, and while I was scratching my nose, watch. Ah, too late. I quick grabbed my mouse, and I just didn't get it in time. He beat me. So, it doesn't matter. I'll fast forward it to you. a little bit and you can see what happens. We're going to win the fight. Just the 2 tanks in the back left. T-34 is making a run at him. There they are. There's one, and the other one's about to come. It's a race the grill's going to lose. And there's the game. We ended up winning 15-9. Pretty easy win. But you get to get a look at the map. You saw that our own artillery in the beginning went up here to hide out. Later in the game they came out. They actually had already that moved to try to get shots. Amazing. And we didn't really have too much play here. We had a KV-1 sitting in the ramp, which was kind of strange. Nobody tried to get up and spot us because of the way the game played out. But I did get to come around, and you saw how you can just buzz right up to the middle there. You come out with the rock just to your right side, which is really a great position because people tend to sit over on that side anyway. So that's, you have already maybe to your left and TD to your right, and that rock at least gives you something to play with on the TD's part. So I think that is really going to be interesting over the next, until they change it again. This is, like I said, one of the maps where it seems like they actually made decent change to it. A little bit more thoughtful than the other ones in regards to what they wanted to accomplish. And then after I play this map a couple times from standard mode and see how this works, I'll give a report on that. For the battle, I had 1,743 XP, 9 spots, 330 spotting damage, 5 kills, 2,256 damage, and I got high caliber, scout, and an Naydens medal for killing all their scouts, 3 or more. So from Karelia Assault Defense, taking a look at the new map and how it affects gameplay in Assault. Happy hunting.